but we'll have questions. Thank you guys for joining. Today we're going to be talking at our workshop about for sale by owner, FSBO, FSBO, whatever you want to call it, and expired listings. And this is really a great way to start prospecting for additional listings. Again, some of you have had listings before, some of you have not. Again, this is really meant to teach you ways that we can start going about getting additional listings and how to kind of go after people who we already know are in the market to sell their home, right? Again, we're going to talk about this, but really one of the most important things is to think about why we should prospect for sellers, right? So lots of things, right? Listings allow you contact from clients and helps you get more buyers, right? Every time you have a listing, and for anyone who's had one, you are going to be getting requests from people who are not working with a broker, right? So technically having a listing is actually one of the best ways to get buyers to work with as well, right? Having a listing helps you establish your name in an area or a building. Christine is here. I'll use you as a great example. Christine used some of the mass emailing and some of the templates we had. She got a listing. The fact she got that listing and sold it got her referral for another listing, right? So she established her name in a building. She and Anthony have a new listing on 13th Street from that. And so again, you can start using the fact that you have one property to get more, right? Once you sell one property in a building, you're likely to be referred to neighbors, to friends, and things like that. Once you have a listing and sell it, you also can join the Street Easy Building Lead program, right? And potentially get people who are looking to buy in a certain building or those buyer referrals from Street Easy. And listings also give you multiple points of contact, right? They let you reach out to the surrounding community, be it the vertical community of the building, the horizontal of the neighborhood and stuff like that, and tell them, right? I just listed this property, right? New to market or coming to market, that you went into contract, that you sold, right? So that's 3 contacts right there just from getting the listing, going into contract and selling it, or having a buyer, right? Maybe someone comes to the open house, you start working with them and they're looking for something different, right? And so that lets you say, hey, I've got this listing, I've got people looking for other stuff, talk to me, right? It really lets you kind of start establishing your name and stuff like that. So again, for sale by owners, right? This is one of, I would say, the most nuanced ways that we prospect for listings, right? And really the most important thing is that when you're going into talking to someone who is trying to sell the property on their own, you are trying to build a relationship, right? You don't want to go in and just say, hey, give me the exclusive, right? Because they have tens or dozens or hundreds of people potentially doing that, right? You want to get into a relationship with them and build their trust and confidence in you. And we're going to go into specifics about how we do that and how that happens. But some things to remember are that most for sale by owners usually list with a firm, right? The biggest one was Elon Musk, right? In recent memory, he was trying to sell his house on his own, right? And he couldn't do it. And he eventually listed with a real estate company and they sold his home. I think it was like 40 million or something like that, right? Because we have more reach and access than anyone else does. If someone does sell their for sale by owner themselves, they will sell for about 13% less nationally than a home listed with a broker, right? And so even if we take out 6% on the fee, they're still losing 7% of their sale price by not working with an experienced agent like we are. Again, if it's something that you're just starting to do, you can't think that someone's just going to work with you right away, right? It takes on average 8 to 10 contacts to get a positive response. You can't just give up after reaching out to someone once or twice, right? We have to build this relationship. Usually we have a little bit easier of a in with them if the property has been on the market for some time. And it's also a little bit easier to build this relationship if they're offering compensation to a buyer's agent. And again, a lot of times these days, you'll see something listed. We'll look at Street Easy, we'll look at Zillow in a little bit. And oftentimes in the description, we'll say, offering 2% to buyer's broker, offering 2.5%, offering 3%, offering 3.5% even to the buyer's agent, right? And that means that they are open to working with brokers already, right? They don't want to give it to a broker, but they're open to working with the broker on the buy side. And so that's kind of an in that we have to kind of work and kind of target into. So where do you find them, right? There's a number of different places that you can find for sale by owner listings. Street Easy, Zillow, Trulia are all really good options. There's also forsalebyowner.com. The New York Times, again, there are some classifieds left on there. they're kind of phasing out their real estate section, but you still can find stuff. Excuse me for 1 second. You can still find stuff, classified sections, be it the Village Voice, wherever the local paper is. Sometimes local sellers will think of that as an affordable option to get their name out there. And again, it's something that, again, if you're walking around, pull a local paper or something like that and see it. People will put up signs, again, for sale by owner, be it a building or, a sign in the window and stuff like that. When you're walking around a neighborhood, right, and you're probably doing this every day, if you see a for rent by owner or for sale by owner sign, take a picture of the sign and call them when you get home and just get some more information about it, right? And some other syndication platforms, be it homes.com, be it Realtor and stuff like that. Again, realtors shouldn't have them, but sometimes they somehow get in there anyways. But you can find these on other places. So there's no magic list, right? That's one of the most important things. There's not just a list that I can send to you every day with what for sale by owners, right? Our job takes research. Our job takes some kind of legwork, right? And even if it didn't, everyone would be doing this, right? And that's why a lot of people don't do this, because it does take a little bit of time to find them. But again, we're going to go over what I find the two easiest places to find them. So again, how do we build the relationship, right? And again, going back to the kind of the second slide, we're not going in saying, hey, I want to list with you, right? And most brokers who call will go in and try to get the listing. That's not well, that is our end goal. That is not, oops, let me go back. That is not what we're going in off the bat, right? The first thing that you want to do is you want to call and ask to see the apartment, right? Again, if you have a client who's looking for that, and never make up the fact that there is no client, right? If you have a client, say that you do and say, hey, my client Jane would love to see this. I was wondering if I could come by with her, or I would love to come and preview for her, right? Again, to me, this is the most important thing. Don't bring another agent as your buyer. Don't start a relationship off of a lie, right? Because it will never be successful if you're starting it off with misinformation, right? If you have a buyer, tell them. If you don't, say you'd like to preview it and stuff like that. Again, a great line is, I always like to know of everything for sale in the neighborhood, right? Especially if you're picking a target neighborhood that you're focusing on, right? Anthony here is working in Williamsburg, right? He should be seeing everything on the market in Williamsburg so that he can best let his clients know about it. And so he can say, I live in the neighborhood. I always like to know of everything for sale in the neighborhood, right? The worst they're going to say is, you know what? I don't have time, come to the open house. Not a problem. I'll come to the open house. Or if they don't want to show, ask if you can piggyback on another showing. Hey, you probably, do you have any showings this week? Yeah, I'm showing Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Oh, can I come at 3:45? I'll come for 10 minutes. I just really want to see the property. Or can I come afterwards? And again, 99% of the time, they want more people in there, so they're going to allow you to do that. So again, what you're doing there is, you're seeing the property, right? And what you want to do when you're in person, and again, this is much more easily done in person versus over the phone, is to start building the relationship with the seller and following up with them, right? So ask them questions, right? Most important way to form a relationship is asking questions, right? Hey, this is a great property. How long have you owned it, right? How did you price it, right? What did you use for your comps? How long has it been on the market, right? The next thing we can do, and again, especially if you're looking online and you see they have really, really bad photos, they have no floor plan, they don't have a video or anything like that, right? Is that you can offer to have these done from them, right? Most of you have a photographer you really like, photos through, we saw at the presentation with Photo Habitats, $99, right? If you could spend $99 today to get a listing tomorrow, would you do that, right? And I think all of you would say yes. And again, this is not a guaranteed listing, but there's a good likelihood that if they don't sell it, someone who offers them something like photos, hey, I want to have professional photos done of your property for you. And they're going to be like, why on earth do you want to do that, right? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I'll have these photos to use in my marketing and stuff like that. Number two, you'll have great photos to use for all your websites. What I can do is I can put together professional show sheets for you also, right? Ask them, are you using show sheets right now? No. So when someone comes in to see the property, they don't give them anything, right? So what you can say is, you know what? I can have professional show sheets done for you. And they're gonna be like, why are you doing that? Well, again, it's gonna have my photo and info on it. So if someone doesn't want this property, maybe they'll want to work with me. And that will be a way that I can maybe get some buyers. Would that be okay with you? And again, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, sure, you can totally do that, right? And have show sheets made. It's about $50 for like 100 show sheets through the design center and stuff like that. You give them the show sheets, they hand them out, and maybe you get a buyer off of it, right? So for $160, photos, and floor plans and show sheets, you're getting marketing material that you can use, right? Think of the mass emails you can send with those photos. Think of the fact that if you do help them sell it, they're again, or if you, even if they sell it themselves, they're going to remember you, right? You can ask Doug to do a mortgage sheet, right? Most sellers don't have a mortgage pre-approval sheet or what the cost of their home is going to be for prospective buyers, right? And so you can give Doug all the information. He'll put your photo and everything like that on it. They'll do the calculations and you give it to them, right? And they give it out to people who walk through their door, right? And they're going to be like, why are you doing this? I want to help you sell the property on your own. All I ask is that you recommend me to friends and family if they're looking to buy or sell with a real estate agent, right? Simple as that. Other things that we can do, right? We can also offer to send emails through My Wyker, right? Hey, how are you marketing this? Well, most of them put it up on one website, right? They put it on Street Easy. What I'd like to do, and again, this is especially easy if they're willing to pay a buyer's broker fee anyways, is you can say, hey, I would love to send this to the 6,000 people living in 11231 for you. Is that okay? I'll send a mass email. I'll use these great photos I have. We'll send it out to them and hopefully we get you a buyer. Again, 9 out of 10 will say, I would 1,000% love for you to do this for me, right? Because you are helping them sell it on their own. You're not going in there asking for the exclusive, right? And think about this, you're building a relationship. So when they think about maybe listing, right? And again, sometimes they're like, well, I might list with my sister. Not a problem, who cares, right? We had that before. My sister's an agent, I don't want to list, right? So they're probably not going to list with anyone, but we can still help them sell it on their own. Again, what you can also do is continue that relationship and ask them, hey, can I help you advertise, right? Can I take over the listing for you? And what does that mean, right? We will post it to Wyker.com. So we'll syndicate it out to those hundreds of websites. Again, they might just be putting it on Street Easy and you can say, not a problem, I won't post it on Street Easy. I'm going to put it on the real estate only websites, right? And again, this especially works if they're willing to pay a buyer's agent percentage and put it up there. Again, if they're offering 3%, we can always put it up with a 1.5 to us, 1.5 to them, not a problem. It allows us to send out mass emails on the property, right? We can boost it on Facebook. We can do all these other things for them by getting the rate. And again, we're not asking them for the exclusive, right? We're saying, hey, would you allow us to advertise this on XYZ site? And if they want an agreement, we can put one together. It's not a problem, right? We're not getting the exclusive. They can sell it on their own. Any broker can bring their clients there. But what we're doing is we're helping get the name out and the word out for their listing much more than they can do it anywhere else, right? And so again, when we're asking these questions, where are you advertising the website, right? How much is that costing you, right? For us to put something on Street Easy is free. For them to put it up, it costs, I think, $1,000 a month or something like that. So there is a cost for them. And maybe they're okay with us taking over some of these advertising things for them. So build that, right? Go see the property, offer them things like photos, like floor plans, show sheets, mortgage sheets, hosting open houses, sending the email, right? And sometimes it's building a relationship, right? The first time you meet with them, you get the photo, you say, hey, I'd love to come with my photographer, Heidi. She'll take photos, do floor plans for you. You can use them. All I want to do is give you some show sheets you can give out to potential buyers. This doesn't work, maybe they'll want to work with me, right? Great. Then you say, hey, could I host an open house for you, right? You're going away for the holidays. I'm here, it's an empty home. I'd love to show the property a couple times. If I post it online, I can put up a couple open houses. Or if you have it on Street Easy, you can post the open house and I'll be here to meet them, show them the property, and again, help you sell it, right? And building the relationship this way takes all the pressure off, right? I don't want an exclusive, right? I say that. I've gone in there with a couple people at the company before to go after these. We've gotten them, we've gotten the right to advertise, we've taken photos, and in some cases, we've actually even helped them sell the property, right? So again, a great way to start building the listings that you have and things like that, right? So again, after you've helped them, done the photos, again, maybe they'll give you a very limited exclusive period, right? Hey, would you give me 2 weeks to try to sell it, right? What does that do? That gives you the chance to host a number of open houses. You can send emails, you can send postcards, right? If you have that 2-week exclusive, maybe you have enough time to put in a little more money to do this, right? And again, everything I'm saying, photos, $100, floor plan, $50 or $60, show sheets, $600, right? You're spending $200, but you're getting a lot in return, right? You're getting potential listing, you're getting potential buyers, you're getting certain things that you can do, right? So it's an investment in your business that can pay off dividends in the end. Hopefully we sell the property, right? And again, it has happened where we have helped someone who was trying to do a for sale by owner. We got a very short listing. We sold the property for them. They were extremely happy, grateful, and gave us referrals in the future, right? So again, it's all about building the relationship. And one of the hardest ones that you get, and one of the questions that they say, right? Oh, it's a great market, right? Especially if you're working in Long Island or Westchester, or, if you're in Jersey or something like that, the question you're going to get is, the market's amazing, everything goes multiple bids after the first day. How can you sell my house better than I can? Right. So knowing how to answer this is probably the weapon that's really important to have in your arsenal. Right. So number one is, we will market the property to more people. Right. We have more exposure to more buyers and stuff like that. And we can capture internet buyer parties from over 400 websites, right? One of the benefits, and I always say it, right? We are the biggest boutique company here in New York City. We have a local presence and stuff like that, but we are getting the exposure out to all of our affiliates, right? 368 affiliate offices. We're getting it out to all of the corporate owned offices, the 110 offices from upstate New York down to Virginia. And we're getting this out in all these different places and stuff like that, where we can get everything out. We have professional marketing materials, right? We're not only just giving out, a piece of paper with the price on it, but we have postcards, we have show sheets, we have Doug's affordability sheets and stuff like that. We can also help them vet anyone who steps into the apartment, right? Again, most of the time, if they're selling it on their own, they're going to be relying on whatever the buyer or the buyer's agent gives them, right? Well, we have Doug who can pre-approve anyone to make sure that it's a good person, right? We have a knowledge of the co-op and condo process and boards, right? We have a good sense of what people are looking for. Maybe they bought it 30 years ago and they don't know what's going on anymore in the market or how a co-op works. We know that process, right? And we can help them with the board process. And we can also help them negotiate conditions and terms without emotions. This is one of the hardest things, right? Someone who's owned a property for a while, again, usually I would say in my experience, there've been kind of really two main types of for sale by owner sellers. Someone who bought it a year or two ago, got renovated and wants to sell it on their own, or someone who's owned it for 20, 30 years and they think they can sell it better than anyone else, right? But there are emotions involved in that, right? When you have a buyer and a seller talking to each other directly, people can butt heads. And talking to a number of you, again, some of these situations come up where, we salvage deals, right? We help put together deals, right? Our value is in helping to broker the deal. And it's hard sometimes for a seller and a buyer to talk to each other directly because they're both so emotional, right? We kind of help mitigate those things. We bring in our knowledge and we bring in all of these amazing things for our buyers and our sellers. So again, how to build the relationship, offer to help sell it on their own. You see the apartment, ask key questions, give them helpful information, right? Maybe they don't know the most recent comps, right? Maybe they haven't seen a market report for the area. Sometimes sellers will just pull it out of thin air where their pricing comes from, and maybe they're either underpricing it or way overpricing it, right? And you can kind of tell them about that. Offer to pay for photos, floor plans. Again, if it's a really expensive apartment, maybe a video or a 3D tour. Again, I think photos and floor plans are usually a good start. Oftentimes the seller doesn't have very good ones. Offer the mortgage affordability sheets from Market Financial, the show sheets from the Design Center, help with marketing, put it on broker-only websites, host open houses or virtual open houses, and then offer to take over the online marketing, right? And again, especially with the marketing, if they're only on one website and you say, hey, I can send this out to 9,000 people who live in your neighborhood, they're going to go forward with that. So again, that's the for sale by owner side. Expired listings are fairly similar, but it's almost easier, right? Because for sale by owners want to sell it themselves. Expired listings, had it listed with someone and the exclusive's expired, and they're probably really pissed off that it hasn't sold, right? When we're looking in OLR, and again, we'll go back into in a little bit about how to find both for sale by owners and expired listings. You're going to see two different terms in OLR if you look up, things that are expired. One is going to be called TOM, temporarily off market. That is supposed to be put in by the broker when maybe they're taking off the market for 2 or 3 months, they're going to put it back on. So we're supposed to wait on these, right? Maybe keep a list of the TOM ones and keep checking to see if they come into POM, but you shouldn't be going after that exclusive. And POM is permanently off market, right? That means that the listing period is expired and we should be able to go after those owners without any issue. Again, in OLR, we can search for expired listings by going to off market here under status. And I apologize, it's a little fuzzy, but we'll go into this on OLR directly. And set show listings from 360 days, right? We want to make this a little bit longer. Pick your neighborhood, pick your price points. Again, I always like to do a really broad range of prices in whatever target neighborhood I'm looking in, right? And then what we can do is we can set up a list of properties, right? We find, and again, in OLR, what are we going to have, right? We're going to have all the broker information. So we're going to have when the listing expired, what the last price was, and who had the listing. And so what we want to do is keep that information and then go the next step, right? And use Cole Realty, Street Easy, or Property Shark to get the information on the owner and then reach out to them, right? You can get the appointment by calling, again, build rapport, let them vent about the last broker. If you can't find any contact information, send a handwritten note, right? Hey, I noticed your property expired. I'd love to help you. I'm a neighborhood specialist. Give me a call and let me know how I can help you sell your property. What you want to do is let them vent about their last broker, right? Because if it didn't sell, think about it. Most people have an exclusive period of, 4 to 6 months, even a year. If they're not happy with the process, right? Because their goal was to sell the property and that property didn't sell for some reason, right? So find out what it was, right? And they're usually going to vent about their last broker. He didn't do X, Y, or Z. She didn't do X, Y, or Z, right? Oh, there were no open houses. The marketing was crap, whatever it is, right? And so what you want to do is set expectations of how we're different, right? About our reach, about our marketing, about how we are not just taking a listing link, let it sit, but we are actively marketing their property on all these various tools, right? And the listing presentation can be very helpful for this. Again, if you haven't watched it, watch the listing presentation that I did not too long ago. The YouTube video's up. Again, offer a short exclusive period to start, or offer the for sale owner, right? Hey, I'd like to help you market this. I don't want an exclusive, right? If you're willing to pay a broker, I'm totally fine with that. I don't need an exclusive. I'll market it for you in the places that I can market it, right? Keep at it. Again, it takes building a relationship and multiple connections to eventually get these listings, right? They're not just gonna be like, yes, Anthony, you can list it tomorrow. Let's go. I'll give you 10% for selling it, right? It takes time, but all of our business is about building relationships, right? And once you get one person converted, think of all those opportunities, right? If you get this listing, again, all of those marketing opportunities you're going to get, all those other listings in the building that you can get, and things like that. So again, one of the most important things is to figure out what's wrong with the last broker, and that's part of their venting process, and offer customized solutions, right? And these are the 5 ones that usually come up, right? Marketing, right? They didn't market it anywhere. Well, where are we going to market it, right? It's important to know what is Weichert's solution. And again, this is all part of the listing presentation, but we syndicate to hundreds of real estate websites. We send mass emails through the My Weichert system. We market on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media through property boosting, right? And that kind of gets into reach. Again, Weichert is a regional powerhouse, in the Northeast. We also have reach across the country and across the globe through our relocation company. Maybe it was price. They priced it too high. They priced it whatever. You can work with them on that. Maybe it was the agent, right? Christine said she was going to be doing, showings every week, and she only came by once, or she had her little assistant come and he didn't know anything about the property, right? I got that from someone I spoke with, right? I had this great listing presentation. I love the broker. And when it came down to it, I never saw him after that first listing presentation, right? And that's not what we do, right? You're dealing with the agent that you hire, right? You're dealing with the agent that's coming on. You're dealing with me and my team, or me and my partner, or whatever it is, right? And potentially open houses, right? And sometimes, these went down a bit during COVID. And again, the open house is a great way to get their property open to as many people as possible. So if the building allows it, we're doing open houses, right? We're doing them by appointment. If the building doesn't allow just regular ones, we're not sitting by and just posting on Street Easy, putting up the open house and waiting for people to come. We're telling people, we're marketing it to our office, we're marketing it to our database, we're marketing it to the neighborhood, and letting them know about that open house, right? And so all these things that we do that set us apart from some of our competitors are the ways that we can help people whose listing expired, right? Because we will do more for them and offer them these customized solutions to whatever issues they had. So again, the Weichert listing presentation, it's an amazing tool to help you get listings. It's available in the the Google Drive. There's the sample one. We can customize this with your bio, a photo of the property, the name of the owners, right? We can do this pretty quickly for you. I need about 24 hours notice. That's it. We can get it back to you. And for anyone who's done it, you can see what an amazing tool it is, right? Again, this is just a sample of the preview page and stuff like that. But the most important thing in all of this, and again, once we're done with this, we're going to go back. You want to make the calls and set the appointments, right? We're going to be doing these, and I apologize I didn't update this, but tomorrow, Thursday at 12:30, sorry, at 10 o'clock, I apologize. We have our call session. It's a great time to make for sale by owner calls, right? Partner with someone. If you don't have a partner in real estate, find someone. If you need someone to go with you, right? If you get a listing presentation or if you get an appointment to go and present to someone, take someone with you, right? Take me. I can come with you on the listing presentation, help you get it, right? Take someone who's done it. Take Leslie or Will or Ellen or someone who knows how to do it. And again, what we're going to do now is just kind of go through how to kind of find these properties and stuff like that, and where to look. So seconds again. We'll go into OLR. And we'll go into Street Easy. Okay, so in OLR, we'll go after, again, how to find these expired listings first. What you're going to do is you're going to go to search, like you'd be looking for a property, listings, pick your borough, we'll pick Manhattan, and sales, right? Let's say we just want to know what's expired in Soho. I'm going to click here on Soho. Let's do a property search for $1. Let's say we want stuff under 2 million. Here under target, keep that as internal, and we want to show listings from 360 days. Over here on the right under status, right? I'm going to click on off market, right? There is an option for expired only. Don't click on that. Click on off market. You'll get more results. And I'm going to run the search. So 38, right? So there are 38 properties that were off market that don't appear to have sold. So these are 38 sellers who were trying to sell their property and weren't able to, right? And so again, permanently off market, permanently off market, permanently off market. Again, some might say temporarily. We don't want to go after those. Let's just see if there are any here. Temporarily off market, right? So this one at Greenwich, we don't want to go after quite yet. Expired, permanently off market, right? But these are all properties that we can try to go after the listing for. And again, think of how much easier this is than just mass emailing someone, right? Because these sellers want to sell, right? 199 Prince 27, permanently off market. Again, some of these might be sponsor sales. So again, if they are, you want to make sure, some of these ones on Charlton, Florence is the on-site, so you probably don't want to go after that one because it's a big development building. But a lot of these other ones who are listed with individual brokers, permanently off market, right, are things that you can go after. So again, then what do? Take this address, 22 Renwick 2B. We then go into Cole Realty, see if we can find the contact, Property Shark, if we can find the contact. If not, just Google the address, see if you can find the owner's name, call them up, talk to them, again, start that relationship. So Street Easy, what we can do, let's pick a neighborhood, let's pick Soho. Street Easy would be more for sale by owners. I'm going to go to search. And again, here's everything that's on the market. So I'm going to go to more. And let's see, they used to allow this and they don't. They go back and forth if they actually do it with who's selling it. So right now they are not allowing it. Let me just show you. They're not allowing us to do the search as we used to be able to do. So what you can do is just kind of look here, Corcoran, Element, Compass, Wind Zone. You just kind of scroll down through and see if you see any that's owner. So we're just going to kind of go through here. Brown Harris, Mountain Group, Corcoran, Sotheby's. Nothing here. So we might be striking out on this right now. You can usually tell by the photos. They're usually not as great if it's a for sale by owner because they don't have the connections to photographers like we do. Sometimes they're okay. Okay, so that's not working. Let me try to do quickly. Let me see if we can owner. Let's see if we do owner. This helps. Zone Serhant. I'm just gonna do this again. That's looking into the body of the text to see. It looks like most of these are listed by agents here. try Zillow. The same thing on Zillow. Let's do Soho. Do the search. Again, you definitely want to be signed in as an agent. I'm not right now, but if we go here on Zillow, oops, and we go to for sale and push this down button, you can pick what it is, right? So if it's by, I'm just going to uncheck everything but by owner and hit done. I'm going to remove this boundary. So here we go. 41 Spring Street, 1 bed, 1 bath, 625 square feet, listed by owner. No board approval, easy rental. Right. And so what you can do is if you are logged in, and I'm going to try to log in, but I can never remember my password. Sorry, Michael, I'm using you. I'm going to click on here. Oftentimes, we'll have their phone number in here. If you hit get more info, you can send it to the owner, right? And hopefully they'll get back to you. Hey, just wanted to see if you're showing this week. I'm a neighborhood specialist in Soho, and I'd love to see the property. Something like that, right? Hey, great looking apartment. And again, if we look at their photos, right? The photos are like, okay, not great, not horrible. They do have a floor plan, which is good. Again, not the best floor plan. They use it from the offering plan, but just a way that you can kind of start looking at stuff and again, start seeing this. And again, if I zoom out here, there's a couple more. 15 St. Mark's Place 3B. Again, same thing. Try to reach out. Sometimes there'll be a phone number here. Sometimes there's not. 15 Norfolk 15. Owner. You can contact them through here. Sometimes it has their phone number. Sometimes it doesn't. There you go. Here's the phone number, right? They're trying to sell it. Photos, not so good. Floor plan, okay. But again, get into a relationship with them, right? Start talking to them. How did they do this? Love to take photos for you, you know, all these things. And again, they come and go on the market as things sell and stuff like that, right? And you know, downtown Manhattan, we've got about 5, but again, 5 calls that you haven't made and that you can make, right? And if we go to Brooklyn and Queens, there's usually additional ones. So again, reasonable number just from Zillow. You can do the same thing. Street Easy is good. Again, if you're prospecting for potential listings and stuff like that for landlords, there are for rent by owners, which you can actually search for on Street Easy. Maybe that's the better way to, let me just show you how to do that. And again, I know today we're talking about, seller prospecting, but again, if we're doing this under rentals, I think they still allow us to do for rent by owner and check that off here. So 150 Sullivan 31 is listed by the owner. So you get the you can get the information, stuff like that. So any questions? What kinds of questions can I answer for you guys? I'm going to stop the share here, but happy to answer anything I can about this.
The statistic you quote, 13% lower price that people get when they're selling by themselves. I've heard brokers sort of say 8%, 9%, 13%, 12%. Where does this figure actually come from if one's confronted by a seller who doesn't really believe you?
Sure, it's from the National Association of Realtors.
Okay.
So NAR compiled the information.
And we would actually be able to produce something to sort of say this is what the National Association of Realtors say, or they have to take our word for it.
Yeah, we can. You can produce it. You can Google, you know, for sale by owner, National Association of Realtor, and you can probably find the article. It might. Okay. That statistic was from 2020 21, so it might change by next year. So, you know, again, we can always get a new number, but you can just
Yeah,
say
but
on
it's
average
logic.
it sells for less, right? If you don't want to find the one to quote, you can just say that. Anyone else have any questions?
Jason, just to,
Yeah, Ken?
yeah, just to clarify what you're saying net after commissions, you do better, right?
Yeah. So
As
again,
representing them.
if we go with that 13%, let's say we're charging 6% commission, they're still 7% ahead, right?
That's a bigger vig than I've seen, but that's great. I've seen 7% better, and so -5 would be 2% net. But yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was the statistic.
I've been using a different number.
Yeah. So the statistic we most recently have is 13%. So
Okay, great.
anyone else?
The 38 in the on OLR, was that a neighborhood or?
That was 38 over the last year in Soho. So that was one neighborhood.
Oh, in Soho. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So you can find them in any neighborhood: Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Bronx, Staten Island, Westchester, even if you want. You can do a similar search on for anyone who's on multiple MLSs. If you're on LIBOR, you can do a similar search in LIBOR for expired listings as well. The good thing about that is it often has the owner's phone number in there too. So
Okay. And what was when they say why would I want to do a show sheet? Are we just going to say, oh, we have a big network that we can reach out to?
So for the show sheets, what I would say is, you know, wouldn't it be great if when someone came to see your property, they had something to take home with them, to remember the property, to have the floor plan, all the information handy, and they're going to say yes. So again, you know, if you go there and they have a show sheet, right, and that's why a lot of what we do is tailored to what they have so far. So again, photos, floor plan, show sheets. If they don't have them, offer them. If they do have them, say, hey, Al, can I take your photos and make them into a show sheet for you? And they're going to say, sure. You know, most people will take free stuff to them and they're going to be like, well, why is this free? And you say, I want to help you sell this on your own, right? Because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to help them sell it on their own. And hopefully you'll get some business off of it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I'll send the slides out later today, as well as the video, so you can kind of go back and look at it. But really what I recommend is 1 hour a week, make some for sale by owner calls, make some expired calls, and, you know, get some additional listings. So again, tomorrow at the call session at 10:30 is our call session. Great time to be doing this. You know, you can do it, come into the office and do it. I can help you with any questions that you might have. And the biggest thing is, you know, you will get a lot of no's. No, I'm not interested. No, thank you. You know, most of the time people will let you come and see the property, and that's kind of where you start your kind of connection with them. It's not over the phone. So thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of the day, and let me know if there's anything you need.
Tomorrow at 10:30.
10:30, yep, is our call session.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Thursday at 10:30. I apologize.
Okay,
Sorry,
I'll be
it's
there.
Tuesday. So okay, bye guys.
Bye-bye.